Good day, class. Today we'll be looking at finding the G.C.F of algebraic expressions. This is a review of what you did before in Math 1 or Math 2. Let me repeat that. This is a reintroduction to what you learned in Math 1 and Math 2. But before I get into that topic, I'm going to review briefly what the concept of the greatest common factor is all about. All right? If we have a set of numbers 6, 12, and 36, and I say to you, what is the greatest common factor? The word greatest is very important. Greatest common factor. All right? Looking at the numbers 6, 12, and 36, the obvious choice is 6. 6 is your greatest common factor because it is the greatest number, the largest number that divides into each of these numbers without leaving a remainder. So the greatest common factor is the greatest number that divides into each number without leaving a remainder. All right? All right, here we have 3 expressions containing a. All right? A cubed, a squared, a to the 4th power. Before we determine what the greatest common factor of these 3 expressions is, let us look at these 3 exponential expressions containing the common base of 2. All right? So if I ask you, what is the greatest common factor of these 3 expressions, this is what I would do. All right? I'm going to convert this or find the value of this expression. The value of this expression is 4. The value of this expression is 16. The value of this expression is 8. Okay, all right. So for those who don't know how I got the 4, 2 squared it means 2 times 2, which is 4. All right. On this side, how I got the 8, 2 cubed or 2 raised to the 3rd power means 2 times 2 times 2. That's 8. All right. And how I got the 16, 2 to the 4th power means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. All right. So the greatest common factor among these 3 numbers is 4. All right. So 4 is the largest number that can go into 8, 4, and 16 without leaving a remainder. All right? Now, if 4 is coming from 2 squared, it is clear that the greatest common factor of these 3 expressions right here is this one. All right. Okay. Now, if I ask you what is the greatest common factor, among these three, it would obviously be a square. All right. Because if 2 squared is the greatest common factor of these three, and a squared is related to 2 squared, it means that the greatest common factor among these three is a squared. All right. Now, there is something I want you to pay attention to. When you look at the exponent of each expression, a squared is the expression that has the smallest exponent, which is 2. All right? So if you want to know what the G.C.F. of a set of expressions is when the base is the same, you look for the expression that has the smallest exponent. All right? So let me repeat that. Each expression has the same base. The base is A. All right? So when the bases are the same and you want to find the greatest common factor, you choose the one with the smallest exponent. All right? Very important. You choose the one that has the smallest exponent. All right? Now, if you don't understand what I just said, don't worry about it. You need to pay attention to what I'll be doing now. All right? So here we have some examples. It says here, find the greatest common factor of the following set of expressions. All right? So for number 1, the greatest common factor of these 4 expressions is p cubed. All right? So that's your answer. The G.C.F. of these 4 expressions is p cubed, because p cubed has the smallest exponent. All right? Very easy. All right? The greatest common factor of these 4 expressions is t. All right? Because t has the smallest exponent, which is actually 1 in this case. All right? The greatest common factor of these 2 expressions, all right, is m squared and n cubed. All right? And how did I get that? I concentrate on each variable, one variable at a time. All right? So we look at all the terms in M. We look at all the M's, M's. All right? So this term in M has an exponent of 4. This term in M has an exponent of 2. So I choose the term in M that has the lowest exponent. And that's how I got M squared. Okay? Then I look at the terms that contain N. This term in N has an exponent of 3, and this term in n has an exponent of 5. So I choose the one that has the smallest exponent. Very easy, all right? All right, for this one, our answer is A, B cubed, all right? So we look at the terms in A. So this term has an exponent of 2, and this term in A has an exponent of 1, all right? So I choose this term, all right? And we look at the terms in B. This term in B has an exponent of 3, and this has an exponent of 4. So we choose the one that has the smallest exponent. That's it. All right, so that's how we got our greatest common factor to be AB cubed. All right. And down here, we find the greatest common factor of 5 and 10. That's the first step. So the greatest common factor of 5 and 10 is 5. All right. All right. We look at the terms in X. All right. So we're going to choose this one, because this one has the smallest exponent, which is 1. So even though you don't see the exponent, it is a 1, all right? It's a 1. Then we look at terms in Y. Terms in Y. So we're going to choose the term in Y that has the smallest exponent, all right? Which is Y to the 4th power. That's your answer, all right? And finally, the GCF of these two terms, we're going to find the GCF of 10 and 12 first. All right? The greatest common factor of 10 and 12 is 2. All right? And the greatest common factor of P cubed and P to the 5th power is P cubed. So we choose the term in P that has the smallest exponent. All right. Q, the term in Q that has the smallest exponent is Q to the 4th power. Very easy. Okay. So that is how you go about finding the greatest common factor of a set of algebraic expressions. And I want to repeat, this is a review of what you learned before. You learned this in Math 1 and Math 2. If you don't understand what is happening, I would advise you to re-watch the video. And if you still don't understand, you send me an email, and in a respectful manner, you let me know that you don't understand, and I will find another way to help you. All right? So it's a difficult time in the educational system. It's hard for many students to learn certain things online. All right? It's easier for students to learn in a face-to-face session. Yes? So if you're having difficulties grasping a concept in a video presentation, just send me an email and let me know in a respectful manner, and I will definitely help you. Okay? So look out for my next posted assignment.